Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miranda, and I'm so honored to be the ending keynote speaker today. Since everybody's introducing how they are integrate the online resources and how to make the digital learning and teaching fun, so I decided to demonstrate to you guys how I implement my online classes. Well, based on the statistic, I was sitting there calculating in the past month, I did 80 hours online teaching. And here I can, if you may, I would like to call for everybody to open your Google search and type in Zoom so that you can join me for my online class or a cloud meeting that we are going to record the whole process of today's seminar, symposium process. Zoom. Here, all you need to do, Zoom, Z-O-O-M. Google search for Zoom and download this software. Once you have it on your mobile phone, then the next thing is to join by inputting this meeting code, which is 916651905. I'm already in, and I'm the host of this cloud meeting. And if it is an online class, I'm the teacher, and I can show you my screen. So even with your mobile phone, you can join me whenever you are, and wherever I am. Then we can just sit in a virtual cloud meeting, and then we can have the online class. It's very convenient. I think this is how we actually revolutionize the teaching and learning. We have everything possible, accessible nowadays with artificial intelligence. Do you need a minute to install? Okay, so you open your Google and then you type in Zoom. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate from here. This is already have Zoom, so I will Zoom. And then the first thing you have in here is the right thing. If you go for sign in, automatically it will, then you can go for join a meeting. Join a meeting. And here, you're going to type in the number, which I'm putting here, 916651905. You may need to download. Okay, download the program, the software is going to be more convenient. I think you can join me whenever you are ready. I can supervise everything from here. I know exactly how many of you are with me, like previously demonstrated. Here is my Zoom. I think right. So if I join. It's 916651905. Okay, then I'm going to start a new meeting. Perhaps the old ones will be, I have a meeting. This is current in process. Okay, so I'm going to find my here. Did anybody join the meeting? Yeah. You already in?
Yeah.
Okay, how come I didn't see you guys?
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. Okay, how many of you are with me? Cool, thank you. So as you can see, I previously clicked sharing of my screen. Can you see my screen? Obsoyo? Okay.
Maybe 5 minutes ago I could, but now I can't.
Yeah, possibly because I have signed out accidentally. So maybe I can restart, or myself can join in, but I tried, I can't. Anyway, this is the message I want to deliver. If you want to have your own virtual class, a cloud meeting, for example, we are all language teachers, then you are in South Korea, you want to teach a bunch of students in your host country, in your home country, okay, you can do it. Whenever you are available, wherever it is available. Then do it, and then it's going to be very fun. The communication is as easy as a face-to-face, a real classroom communication. You can do even more. This is the chances we have when we are in this digital, this world with artificial intelligence. And today our theme is the fourth industrial revolution and education, the digital language, learning and teaching. My topic is to investigate will the English language remain a lingua franca with the rise of artificial intelligence and Chinese Mandarin in Industry 4.0. Artificial intelligence brought a lot of changes, or the world is changing in many ways. It brought the fourth industry revolution. The previous industry revolutions expanded tremendously our mechanical power. Well, this one, as the Germany put it, the Industry 4.0 in 2013 is going to revolutionize our cognitive power or our mental power. And we fear we're in such a panic that with artificial intelligence, many of our jobs, manual labor or mental labor, are going to be replaced by robots. But this is happening. What are we going to do? These are the research activities that artificial intelligence is engaging on. We are putting an emphasis in creating intelligent robots, machines with speech recognition, computer vision, deep learning, or the neural machine translation. And the next thing is, I want to talk about the unique power of English. There are more than 7,000 languages in the world. And only 50% of the world population speak only 10 of those. And among those 10, 5 of those are behemoths. A behemoth language means a language that has a huge population. And to discuss the unique power of English, we need to know 1/4 of the world population speak at least some of English. They are the students at different levels. The 5 behemoth languages are Chinese Mandarin, based on very large population, English, Arabic, Hindu, and Spanish. Hindu Urdu. So in the previous 2 centuries, 19th century with the rise of Great Britain after the first industrial revolution, and in the 20th century after the Second World War, the rise of the United States, English has been lingua franca. It is a monopoly because communicating globally has been in English. The second language in my country, China, in Japan, in Germany, are all in English. We are able to talk to more people if we know the language. We are confident to travel to a country that we've never been to. Moreover, working in international organizations requires strong command of English. English, it is becoming an essential passport to social acceptance. A lingua franca is a trade language, or a linking language, a bridge language, that have developed around the world throughout human history, serving commercial, cultural, religious, diplomatic convenience. to exchange information between scientists and scholars with different nationalities. Today, English has been the lingua franca for the flourishing technological development in Silicon Valley over the last decades. Some would argue that English will squeeze out less widely spoken languages, or it is going to be pushed aside by another language. With internet, people say it's going to be more uniform. And some would also worry this trend of hybrid languages will pose a threat to English as a predominant language. It's very interesting that in South Korea here, we have Konglish. Konglish means a Korean style in English. We have South Apalika, copy hands on Chiseo. So, and both sounds are missing in this language. So in Chinese, same is true, we have Chinglish, Chinese style English, Hinglish. So this fracture trend of English, is it going to pose a threat to English? Moreover, in my paper, which done several months ago, I also investigate, do rise of China and Mandarin Chinese pose a challenge to the dominance of English language? Because Mandarin Chinese is definitely gaining popularity because of its increasing importance in international business trade. If you want to talk to more businessmen in China to purchase more made in China products, it is inevitable for you to communicate in Chinese language. The second very important parameter is artificial intelligence. Is it going to be a threat to the survival of English as a global language? Simply ask yourself this question. If computers are able to translate every language into every other language, why should everyone learn English if it's not their first language? Because AI machine technology is advancing in an extraordinary speed. The increased use of AI machine translation technology makes it unnecessary to learn English. It helps to remove language barriers and enhance human beings' communicative abilities. For example, you're in a foreign country, getting a menu or get a direction on holiday. These are just so easy with AI machine translation. AI machine translation allows people to travel to any parts of the world without speaking any of the languages themselves. This is the development in the past decade, simply mostly the past decade of artificial intelligence. And we have speech recognition in 2010, 2012 is the computer vision, and then since 2014, the machine translation. Simply in China, we have a lot of apps and the programs available. I wanted to demonstrate, but I forgot the mobile phone there. It is very accurate, and it can actually satisfy all kinds of needs. We have augmented reality that can support if you scan, if you take a picture, and then the translated text is already there. You put into a voice, then automatically both the original text or the translated version into different languages will be available for you. It is very convenient, fast, and accurate. So, as we were saying, it's going to be more in-depth and enjoyable if you can communicate in our native language. This is allowing people to just know one's native language. And AI machine translation helps to preserve languages that aren't as widely spoken as English and other medium languages. The machine deep learning will bring back some of other languages for better communication, and it is affecting the way we use English. We were talking about why we have to learn English if it's not our first language. This is the reason why not. It takes a massive amount of time and effort. Not the same as learning one's native language is more difficult. We have to be in such an environment where we can use English regularly in order to speak well. So this environment is not available for everybody. The future of communicating in everyone's native language is better than the present. This is not what I just wrote. It's based on my 500 participants, an online perception survey. I hope in the future I don't feel the need to learn a new language rather than the one I'm more into. So, AI disruptive innovation is one of the driving forces that make people feel important to learn English, because most controls and commands of modern electronic devices are in English, which is still true, but is even truer before 2014. Nowadays, I've been watching the trade war between China and US, and then the new tech Cold War going on with all this trend. I believe in the future maybe it's going to be an iron curve between China and US, and it's going to be maybe two can't going astray day by day this technical world. Those two superpowers are going to compete even more in the future. Disruptive innovation makes English less likely to remain the main language for international communication. And these innovations allows us to use electronic gadgets. We've demonstrated enough for today, and the smartphones with interfaces in different languages, not only in English. At least in China, we have, for example, iFly, a machine translation app, I fly. And then if you pay a little bit money, it allows you to translate freely among more than 50 languages. Not only from Chinese to English, Chinese to Korean. It's very powerful. Yeah, we were still on, is it necessary to learn a new language? Take me, for example. I think it's necessary, at least now, because if I don't know English language, I won't be able to have such opportunity present now. If I say it in Chinese, I think it's going to be troublesome for me to use the current machine translation to make you understand. I know this day will come, but it's just not yet, or it's not that basic right now. And these two ladies, they're the hosts of primetime TV show. This is Trish Regan, the Fox Business News host, and she is quite new. 2 days ago, they were having a debate regarding the trade war, regarding the state capitalism, a lot of debates going on. So what I want to say is, if we want to have a better communication, to take more in control, we definitely need to know more languages. Okay. And it is definitely changing the way how education of English is done in the past to a more entertaining way. Like, for example, if I'm continuing with my cloud meeting or online class, I may now insert some very interesting resources. Like, for example, I teach PTE, Pearson Test of English. It's a computer-based exam. And then I can do a lot of interaction using this, and to allow my students to learn a lot more than sitting in a classroom with me. And the idea of radio broadcasts, newspapers, and TV programs being translated and understood, no matter what languages they are in, makes me feel excited. Again, these are from the survey. And now, time to answer this question. Will English language remain a lingua franca, with all being said? To answer this, data was collected from the perception data, 500 participants. And then I have two parameters. One is AI innovations, such as machine translation with deep learning, rise of Chinese Mandarin in economic strength. We have GDP, GMP, and in my paper, in my research, I have this concept, GLE, gross language product. And the survey is a perception survey, so I used the Likert scale questions from strongly disagree to strongly agree, 0 to 5. And then this is the online AI and English future perception survey. As you can see, 500 participants randomly, okay, within 4 or 5 months. This is the power of social media. Survey questions. And then these are the technical details, the analysis part. I want to show to you co-efficiency, the AI, artificial intelligence, and rise of China in economic strength are negatively correlated with English language dominance as a lingua franca. And rise of China and AI, they are positively.
One more time, that last sentence. What's negatively correlated?
Yeah, I have two parameters, AI, artificial intelligence innovations, and the rise of China and Chinese Mandarin. So these are the two independent variables. So these are both negatively correlated with English as a lingua franca. Okay, these are that English language is undergoing new changes in artificial intelligence world. It's going to be more simplified, or more unified, or fractured, depending on how people perceive it. But the data shows it is more fractured. The rise of China and economic strength of Chinese Mandarin. I will show with data. This is from the International Monetary Fund. You can see the red line represents China in GDP. And by 2030, it's going to overtake the United States, which is in blue line, in GDP total capacity. And in the right in here, digital leaders in e-commerce, China is almost three times as big as the United States currently. With this trend, also from the perception data, the rise of Chinese Mandarin in economic strength poses a threat to the dominance of English. 91.8% out of those 500 people believe, yes, it is going to be a threat. And the GLP part, gross language product, I know maybe it's going to raise a question in debate because I only put 4 major English-speaking economies, the population and the English population, and then it is GDP. So based on this, English ranked number 8, Chinese ranked number 9, and the figure is really, really small, but we can see still a gap, but it is catching up. Okay, and I run a regression. I came to findings, a module that predict in how long English language is going to lose its dominance. But findings here, I'm going to review the answer in the end. Findings, English will not remain a lingua franca in Industry 4.0. English is going to be a hybrid and flexible language. And speakers of English as second or foreign language long outnumber the first language speakers. It is a flexible, multilingual future alongside with artificial intelligence technology. Those who speak English, okay, here, 16% speak 3 or more languages, and 84% out of the 500 people, they speak at least 2 languages. Language, primary function shift from a carrier culture to communication. As language teachers, we constantly tell our students the ultimate goal for language is definitely communication. So it is even more truer in artificial intelligence world. Language is in constant change, and the world is getting more multilingual. Okay, this research has aimed to establish a new agenda for debate. not simply on the prediction of less than a decade from now, which is 2018 October, by the time the data was collected, is exactly 9.56 years. That the speaking of English language will not be the dominance, or will be thoroughly replaced by artificial intelligence-powered robots and machine translation. After all, it is a choice question when humans don't want to be too reliant on machine translation for communication, and neither do we want to be threatened for existence on the same planet with artificial intelligence robots in the future. Okay, this is the questionnaire link, the references. I want to thank several people, the co-author of this paper, Dr. James Lee Regan, and he's the Vice Dean of Endicott College. Okay, my research interest, and if you want to contact me, I think, okay, there we go. I want to show off my Korean language as a linguistics. Zoan halu tesipsio, 감사합니다. Any questions?
Can you go back 3 slides to the paper, link to the paper?
Paper?
Was that link to the paper? The Winjun? Today, www.winjun.
That was our survey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was that the survey? Oh.
Yeah.
Don't you believe that idioms will prevent any software from really being a lingua franca? Idioms are kind of like what really make us
No, man, like, they did this thing, okay, Reddit, you know Reddit? They got like 2 billion words. They had 2 billion messages from Reddit, downloaded it, uploaded it to like a deep learning, that chatbot, and from that, like, I mean, that pretty much covers idioms. Like, you can pick up that, because they use the idioms in the Reddit, right? And they have those appropriate responses to those idioms. I'm not saying it's perfect now, but in what, 9.7 years, it's gonna be pretty much that idiom nut bottom.
Yeah,
as I said, it's just going to cause a debate for today. You can believe it because it's a perception data, 500 people. You can believe it, but I strongly believe it. It is happening now. Artificial intelligence is changing our world, it's changing our lives, it's affecting the way we learn and teach English, it's affecting everything else.
You think by 2030, English is not the lingua franca?
It's not 2030. It's 2030 based on International Monetary Fund data that the US GDP is going to be overtaken by Chinese. That was the year, 2030.
Yeah.
So English may not be a lingua franca, but certainly these disruptive changes, I think, will change how we want to learn a language and really why we want to speak another language, why would we go through this effort to learn a language and ultimately have to speak it for us. Changes the meaning behind what we want to learn, how we want to learn as well. Also, as you mentioned, throughout the way that we actually teach will have to change to adapt to why we're learning languages now and why we're confronting this kind of technology. And how we can actually use this technology, AI, especially now, people with systems, people on things like that, and all that stuff. We can teach with them now. So we need to work out how we can use them to assist us rather than let them take over. As I mentioned earlier today, we need to adapt to it. We need to welcome it and look at how we can use it in the best way for us to use it going forward.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.